Right to the air. Here's Murray. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. Finding room at midfield. Down the left sideline. Touchdown, New Orleans. A.J. Brown, his second touchdown on the season. And the Saints are on the board first here this afternoon. Lutz with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now a 1,000-yard rusher a season ago, Antonio Gibson with it. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Well, this defense for the Saints, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
That's complete to Pierce. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here. And
it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
To throw, it's Murray. He finds Corey Davis. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive. It comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him. And I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down. Stopped at the Panthers' 32. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. Running right through him. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. That's Gregory Rousseau getting in there to bring him down. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, He got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
Under pressure, they got him again. Lee McNeil, what an effort to get in there and drop him.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive. Didn't march to the end zone the last time out.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Murray going to throw. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quay Walker. And the Panthers are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line. And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his second one.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Wilson. Oh, and that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Now it's Wilson. Wide open receiver complete. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
As this complete to Daniel Bellinger. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. That's his first catch of the game and an impressive one against multiple defenders.
And how about that start? Really aggressive. Yeah, there was double coverage out there, but that didn't stop them at all. They went right at it and defeated it on that play.
Play action. Now Wilson. Another pass complete to Bellinger. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. The Panthers at 0-2 here to begin the season. And listen, they made their share of mistakes in these first 2 games, CD, but talking with them in the days leading up to this one, doesn't seem like they've lost any confidence.
I would agree with that, and what they told us was that they weren't planning on making any drastic changes. They didn't see the need to shake things up. They were going to continue to plow ahead. They felt they had the right guys on the team and in the locker room, but they do have to start winning some games.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 24-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. He'll get this down to the 21, just on the edge of the red zone. Marcus Davenport there to take him down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
Go farther, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the Plague did on the last one.
Mixon with a first down carry. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for 3rd down. Mixing up the middle. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. That one goes for 8 yards.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play because if you get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
On 3rd down, Mixon. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 45 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now Murray. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. It's a loss of 5 there on the sack to bring up 2nd and goal. Well, that's not how you hope to draw it up there on 1st and goal, CD, by taking a sack like that.
Well, they tried to be aggressive, didn't they? They didn't want to try and work their way past the goal line. They wanted it right there on that play. Unfortunately, it backfired against them. Now they have to try and pick it up here moving forward.
And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and goal. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Corey Davis, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Saints have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Lutt's good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, Lutt's to kick it off. Kene Nwagu now out of his end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when and now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Malik Hooker. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
Partner, have you ever heard the story of Icarus in mythology? That's the guy who flew too close to the sun and had his wings melted. That was our guy right there. Keeps pressing it and pressing it. Finally, on that throw, he paid the price with that turnover.
Mixon running wide side. Stopped by the safety, Kyle Hamilton.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Sliding out of the pocket. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Gregory Rousseau in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. From the gun on third down, Murray. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
No surprise to see his sideline fired up by that big play. Heck, we're fired up and we're supposed to be neutral. That's a quarterback putting his body on the line to fight and just barely get the first down. When he does something like that, it gets everyone ready to lay it all out there and try and match his intensity.
This will be caught at about the 6. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up second down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
From the 5, second and 4. Here's Murray. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Now Wilson on first down.
Throw right side, taken in by Gibson.
Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They'll throw on first down with Wilson.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jamel Dean.
Well, CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. And this is going to be intercepted.
Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Panthers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Panthers going to get the football first, trailing here as well as we resume play in this second half. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
They go play action with Wilson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
That's the former Buckeye Pete Werner getting the sack.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson.
He's got his man. It's Pierce.
Short completion, just 4 yards. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that's going to make it 4th down. Here's the Panthers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brandon, that's what you call being manhandled at the point of attack. And I know the offensive line gets a lot of blame for that one. But occasionally, the defense just knows what you're going to do. Maybe they scouted it perfectly. Maybe someone tipped it off. But on that play, it had no chance.
This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Partner, I like the play call coming right after a tackle for a loss because this is an obvious passing situation, but instead they fooled them a little bit with the screen, and they wound up getting back what they lost, and then a little bit more.
A draw play for Mixon. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Here comes the Saints punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. .40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return. And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points. Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss.
2nd and 10 now, 3rd quarter from Charlotte.
Now Wilson. And he whips that one incomplete there.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They go play action now. Wilson buying time to his left.
He finds Pierce. It's complete.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards.
Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback because instead of forcing something on 3rd down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a 1st down.
Shotgun handoff to Gibson.
And he'll bring this one inside the 35. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now it's Wilson.
That's out to the flat for Gibson. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
They certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. got his man on the out route. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A good-looking drive so far for the Panthers and a first down here.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now Wilson. Flush to his right. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break contain and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the offense will hold on to this one right at the 5-yard line. Lucky there. Could have been a costly mistake, but as it turns out, they keep possession.
You can't give away these types of opportunities in the red zone. And I'm sure that was flashing through his brain as the ball escaped his hands. Fortunately for him, able to get picked up by his team, fumble recovered. They still have an opportunity deep in the red zone.
They'll run with Gibson. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Antonio Gibson from 3 yards out. And the Panthers are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Pretty important 3rd quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. Jonathan Hankins in on the stop.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Here's Murray. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked by Kenneth Murray. And the Panthers are going to take possession of the football. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. After the interception, here's Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal.
They'll run with Gibson.
And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or 2 in this situation.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Here's Wilson to throw.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
Throwing is Wilson. Toward the pylon, caught. Touchdown. Allen Pierce with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Panthers are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
Reed going to bring it out of the end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the 4th quarter. And a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. The 71 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Again, it's Mixon. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Well, when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play.
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. The Saints on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Inside handoff to Mixon. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch victory.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Dancing to his left. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I'm not quite sure what he thought he saw there, but the reality was certainly a much different picture than what he anticipated. And give credit to the defense. They were down on the flash when he broke out of there, and they forced him out with almost nothing to show for his efforts.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line.
Throwing now is Murray. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Quay Walker. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Play action. It's Wilson. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA with a sack.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
A bit of extra pressure now for this one on Joey Sly.
This to break our 4th quarter tie.
Sly able to put this one through.
And they take a 17-14 lead.
So he waited on the sideline for his first chance in the ball game, and it didn't come until the 4th quarter, but he connects there. A big one to give him the lead.
Boy, you talk about coming in cold. I don't care how many times you kick it into a net. You're not really ready when you go out there and all that beep.
Now a hit and a loose football. And I think he was able to get back on it. He was. So they will get the ball after all, but that could have been a disaster.
I didn't do this in college, but I did it in high school. When you return kicks and you lose it yourself, the panic that goes through you and the determination to get the ball back, I don't even know how to describe it. And I think we just saw an example there.
Yeah, and the relief when you get it back like he did.
Yeah, you go to the sidelines, you know you're going to get yelled at, but you can handle it because you got the ball back. Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Murray now to throw. Throw right side, caught by Goddard, the tight end. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Now the 4th-round pick from A&M. This is Isaiah Spiller.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times...
And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Picked off by D'Angelo Malone.
And the Panthers are going to take possession of the football. But what a turnaround. They exited the lockers with a nice lead, and now all of this. What's happened?
So when you start to write your novel, you'll start out with, it was a tale of 2 halves, won't you?
Hey, but I'm a bad writer.
I don't know exactly what happened because sometimes teams can go in with a lead and get too comfortable, too relaxed, and a couple of things go wrong, and it's hard to get back that good feeling.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7.
And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
Oh, Brandon, I'm going to tell you, this is football time to me. They're inside the 10-yard line. That's like drawing the line in the sand. Who's going to make the stand here? Defensive guys, they know if he gets in the end zone, this ball game is over. And the guys with the football right now, they're thinking, let's just pound it in there.
Got to hold him to 3 to keep this a 1-score game. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now.
The objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th.
So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina.
Ryan Knoll
His first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Panthers are able to build on to their fourth quarter lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Reed going to bring it out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get... And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Christian Fulton. And the Panthers are going to take possession of the football. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Now Wilson. He's got this to Pickens. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A very solid gain of 27.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage, because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands.
And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Antonio Gibson, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Panthers look like they're about to put an end to their 2-game losing streak as they add on to their lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Reed going to bring it out of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
Now Murray off play action. And my goodness, another interception. Kyler Gordon picks it off. And the Panthers are going to get the football back at their own 17. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it, and that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
There's the athleticism of Tyus Bowser on display, wrapping him up no problem. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half.